Okay, we are in for another gate crash draft here. There was a second gate crash draft. This is technically the third one. Unfortunately, the file was a little temperamental and decided it didn't really want to upload, so we don't have that one. For the record, I drafted Boros and did very well, because you'll believe that when this one goes down the POS as well. Let's see what we've got here. Well, we keep opening these bomb rares. We can't not take Stolen Identity. That would just be criminal. Other cards in this pack, we have Skinbrand Goblin, Ember Beast, Death Cult Rogue, which we would hope to see back, but we're not going to. There's also Rust Scarab. This pack is very good. It's got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 playables, so we'll see something back, even if it's just the Syndicate Enforcer, which it probably will be. But we're taking Stolen Identity, most likely going Dimir, I guess, though I will be happy to sort of stay Simic if we can. That's less of a good rare. So here, whoever was sat to our right had a very easy pick in not taking the rare. So they took a common. They've left us with Gruel Charm, etc. Let's expand this, shall we? Let's make this a bit bigger. There you go. We have an Angelic Edict, a Metropolis Sprite, a Basilica Screecher, all very good cards. I'm tempted to take the Metropolis Sprite. I don't really want to take the Metropolis Sprite second, so I think I'll take Basilica Screecher, just because I think it's the better card. I don't really want to commit to Esper at this point, but Basilica Screecher allows us to stay potentially Dimir, but also we don't commit ourselves too heavily to it. We can still go Simic if the way opens up. Though with this pick looking the way it is, I think we'll probably be going Dimir. That's a strong signal that Boros is draftable. Is it better than White of Precinct 6? I don't think so. If we're going Dimir, then we do want the ability to capitalise on White of Precinct 6. We want to make sure this is at least a 3-3, if not a 4-4 when it comes in. We're also being passed decent green, so we could always go into Simic if the black dries up. We've certainly not been passed any black removal, but hopefully we'll get rewarded in Pack 2 for passing this Sky Knight Legionnaire and not being in either of the colours that it's relevant for. Or maybe we just get punished now with this Warmind infantry that's going by. Here we definitely take Croconura. It could be that we're getting cut out of black, but Croconura is definitely the pick. We're not too deep into Dimir that we can't just switch to Simic here. Jeez, we've made a huge mistake, haven't we? All this good Boros, and none of it is ours. Well, we'll take this and cry a little inside, though we then get back on message, so let's hide that. We have quite a few options here. Balustrade Spy is the pick, if we want to stay on the Dimir plan. Though there is also Simic Charm, there's Metropolis Sprite, also both very, very good cards. I think I'll take Balustrade Spy and try and stay on message here. Though we would be sending the signal that blue is open, and either way we don't want blue to be open, so no, we'll take the Balustrade Spy. It's a very, very good creature. We get rewarded with a Psychic Strike. I'm tempted by Metropolis Sprite again, though that being said, Psychic Strike will do a very good job in Dimir. Though we could take Totally Lost, which wouldn't be the worst. Let's sort by cost here. I don't have much experience drafting Dimir, so I'm not entirely sure what's correct here. We'll take the Psychic Strike though. We want Incidental Mill because we do want to open our way for... we want to open the way for Death's Approach. Here we'll take Clinging Enemies, we probably won't run it, we hope we don't run it. The Syndicate have also wheeled, so that was to be anticipated. Way of the Thief is also solid. Simic Guildgate we could take to sort out any splash of green we do want to run, because we're likely to see some good green in pack 2, but we'll take Syndicate Enforcer for now. Here we will take an Incursion Specialist. It's a surprisingly good card in Dimir. It doesn't combo with Cypher at all, but I'd rather take it over Spell Rupture. That Spell Rupture is more of a Simic card. Though we'll take one here because there's nothing else there. We could have taken the Guildgate. We'll take the Mortar Strider in case we get the combo. We'll take a Mountain and pass those terrible cards. We'll take an Island and pass that terrible card. And we get past a last pick, Merfolk of the Depths. Yeah, we don't want to run that card ever. So going into pack 2, we're fairly happy with our Dimir deck at the moment. We're looking for some more valuable... We're certainly looking for removal. Death's Approach is a premium spell to pick up, as is any other incidental mill we have to see. An Undercity Informer we'd be very happy to see with Mortar Strider around. Here we have no black at all. Rubblepelt Raiders is the rare. I mean, if we'd been Boros right now, oh wow, all the options. But Agrophobia is the pick. It deals with an early creature, it deals with anything we need to. We can grind our opponent out with some extortion from our black extort creatures. And it's an uncommon. We're likely to see Totally Losts going late. Eventually I will want to pick up at least one, if not two, just because with the incidental mill it does work. Wow. Here we take Hands of Binding, very, very clearly. It's one of the best Cypher cards, if not the best Cypher card. We definitely want to play that. Nothing else here is very exciting. There's no real black to speak of at the moment. We could just be getting punished here, unfortunately. We'll take Hands of Binding, though. It's absolutely fine. Here we have another Basilicus creature, so we'll happily snap that one up. And here the Boros has dried up, so someone down the way is taking all that, which is good. There's nothing really else here for us. There's another Mortar Strider, which we don't really want more than one of. Horror of the Dim is basically unplayable. Sapphire Drake is a Simic card. So yes, we'll take the Basilicus creature. Very happy with the fact we've got lots of 2-drops quite early. Well, we could go for that blue with that green splash. Mystic Genesis is a very fine card, though a second Balustrade Spy is exactly where we want to be, and I initially didn't see that in the pack, so definitely the Balustrade Spy here. The Mystic Genesis splash would be very, very cute, but we'd never have the green on time, I feel. It would allow us to splash the Croconura as well, and it is very tempting, and I'm almost arguing my way into it, but I think that Balustrade Spy is the intelligent pick. Cloudfin Raptor is certainly something we want in our deck. It's an excellent creature in Dimir as much as in Simic. It evolves very easily, and it allows you to start ciphering very, very quickly. Again, there's very little else in the pack to speak of. We get past another Balustrade Spy. We're very, very happy with this. Lots of green left in the pack. There's still an Act of Treason. I can't tell if we're being cut out of one of our colours, though we seem to be getting one playable every single time, so maybe these packs have been quite deep. Here there's nothing for us. No, there is literally nothing for us. I could take Midnight Recovery, though it doesn't combo with White of Precinct 6 at all, so that's a very poor idea, I feel. It's just a question of what we really want to cut. I guess we cut the removal. There's nothing else really here. We could cut the Foundry Street Denizen, just because it is early pressure for our opponent, and it is a problem card to deal with if an opponent is playing it. Here we'll quite happily take a Shadow Slice. We have plenty of evasion, and we will get more, and Shadow Slice is certainly a finisher we want to see. Keymaster Rogues go late, so I will expect to see one more of those, I think, and we'll probably pick up the one. It's very good if you happen to be against an Aura deck. Anything like 1,000 Lashes is very problematic. We wield the Totally Lost, which we'll happily take. Armoured Transport would also be very solid in our deck because it holds Cypher cards very well. Again, this is one of those things where I'm talking myself into playing that card, so I think I will take the Armoured Transport. And we get rewarded with the Totally Lost there, that's absolutely fine. Smog Elemental is also tempting, but we do have the 6-drop already, so we'll take Totally Lost. Here we will pick up a Way of Thief. We don't have any gates yet, but we can keep an eye out for it. Here we'll take the Keymaster Rogue. Both of those cards are unplayable. Let's increase our... Shielded Passage is actually fairly solid in the Boros deck as a 23rd card. It's not necessarily ideal, but it is a poor man's Boros charm for a single creature. Okay, pack 3 we open a Giant Adivage, which we're not so interested in. Dinrova Horror is definitely the pick though. Dinrova Horror combined with Stolen Identity is a real beating, and we'll be very happy to be doing that at some point. The alternatives in the pack aren't really forthcoming. There's a Syndicate Enforcer, which I'm not too happy to take. Corpse Blockade is a solid early play, though we do have a lot of early game anyway, with 1/3s and 1/1s that are potentially much bigger than that. So I'll take Dinrova Horror. We really need some removal in pack 3. We may even take an Executioner's Swing, if only because we do need removal, and splashing that for Esper is absolutely fine. I would have no problems doing that. There's certainly nothing else in the pack that we want. Contaminated Ground is quite cute, and I would be tempted to take it, but it will wheel. I'm tempted to take it just to be able to hose a greedy opponent if they're a 3-colour deck. So we'll take the Executioner's Swing, but we're probably not running it. We do need an Orzhov Guildgate to make that work. Jeez, look at this. Look at this amazing Boros deck we could have had with its 3 Sky Knight Legionnaires and Boros Elite and things like that. We're taking a Death Approach. This is finally, we're getting some black removal through. We are probably being cut from black, unfortunately, so this may not have been the most intelligent thing to do, but we'll take the Death's Approach because it's very solid. We've got a very decent amount of incidental mill already. It's a shame to pass the Denizen, but we'll hopefully deal with that. Dimir Charm is absolutely brilliant. Destroy target Guildmage or Fate Seal your opponent. I favour it over the Second Hands of Binding. It's not often I will pass up a Second Hands of Binding, but Dimir Charm is just a really solid card for the Dimir deck, so we'll take it. Here we get past another Cloudfin Raptor. It's certainly better than another Syndicate Enforcer. Whispering Madness is borderline unplayable, I would say almost. I know, in fact, I will straight up say that Whispering Madness is unplayable in Limited. I really want there to be a deck in Standard that breaks it, but I can't see that happening anytime soon. Here we have a very clear pick and call of the Nightwing. Again, because we have so much evasion, this is a very solid creature, a solid card to pick up. If that weren't there, I would take Leyline Phantom probably, because it's an amazing late game board staller, allowing your flyers to get in or allowing you to play Dinrova Horror and mop up the board. That is a lot of late Simic that seems to be going around. I've temporarily marked Gridlock because I can't see myself running any of the other cards in this pack. Last Thoughts is a potential playable, though we do already have 25, so at this point I don't think Last Thoughts is making it into the deck. We've got a creature heavy deck, which I think will scale down a little bit. So we'll take Gridlock. We probably won't run it though. That's a very late Thrall Parasite, which we are happy to take. No, we're not. We need the Metropolis Sprite. We've actually missed all of our Metropolis Sprites up until this point because we've always had something better to take. It's a shame not to have the Thrall Parasite because it's a very, very good creature, but we do need one Metropolis Sprite. Although, having said that, Thrall Parasite is an extorter. Oh, we'll just take the Thrall Parasite. And we wheel... Oh, how did Elusive Crosis wheel? That just shouldn't happen ever. I think we'll take this. Again, we've got no fixing, but we'll take Contaminated Ground again for the cuteness. Take Scatter Arc. Probably not running it. Take a Totally Lost. Sure, we'll take Mystery Madness. And Ivy Lane Denizen. So we've got a lion's share of Dimir cards. I'm certainly not sad about that by any stretch of the imagination. Hopefully we can form enough of a deck to make this work. So this is currently 23. We have 14 creatures, several of which are evasive, and where they aren't evasive they benefit from all the incidental mill we have. Let's put these over here because that's where we like casting them. I'm happy to have taken the Thrall Parasite because it is an extra extort creature and that gives us 4 rather than 3, which I think is fairly good. We could run Keymaster Rogue. It may be better than Syndicate Enforcer. I'm not entirely sure that Mortar Strider is correct in our deck because we don't benefit very much. If we're going to extort people out, then we do want to use Agoraphobia for that purpose rather than Mortar Strider. Mortar Strider just isn't going to get there. We have enough early game, really, with our removal and our creatures, our seven creatures at 1 and 2. Jeez, how did we end up with that? Keymaster Rogue will allow us to evolve Cloudfin Raptor a couple of times, which I'd be happy with. Armor Transport pulls this up to a 2-3, which is what we want. I'm tempted to run the second Totally Lost as well, though I'm not entirely sure what I cut for it. I can't really cut any creatures from the 14 that we've got. Clinging and enemies is something I'm tempted to bring in. Keymaster Rogue is something I'm tempted to bring in, though at what cost I'm not entirely sure. It's a great shame we didn't see any other Deathmantle Rogues other than the first. The one we opened was the only one we saw in the entire draft. Duskmantle Rogue would be a clear swap for Mortar Strider. Unfortunately we don't have that. However, I think, given the circumstances, I will bring in Keymaster Rogue and cut. What do we cut? What do we cut? We'll cut the Syndicate Enforcer because it fills the same slot, and while it does extort, this is going to be better for us with the Cypher cards that we've got. So I will ship this. Let's add some land. We'll ship this and see you in round 1.